welcome everyone. It's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have two Divine Masculine Twin Flame reads for you, one from yesterday and one from today. Both of them have important information for you guys, so stay tuned if you can. Take a deep breath. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. Okay, so as we start, let me show you the pictures for the reads before I forget. All right, here. All right, so this is yesterday's read, the basic read. Okay, this is the full read from yesterday. So you can take a snapshot of that if you want to follow it while I'm reading, but I do usually call out most of the cards I read at. Or I read. That's today's read, and then this is the full read in front of you now. Okay. There's something else on here I wanted to... Oh, this was interesting. All right, so definitely some stuff was coming up today of importance. Fraternities were coming up, so I'm sure some of the hazing wounds and things like that are coming up for review. There's some stuff I might read for you as well. And yesterday morning when I was at the kitchen sink looking out the back window, I have a little lantern there that a bird has made a nest in. I think I told you about that already. It's a tiny little mother bird. I don't know if it's a hummingbird. It's just tiny. And there's all these little babies inside. So then yesterday when I was at the sink, I'm just, standing there doing my thing. And all of a sudden I see a cat on my deck, which, of course, there's been a cat there before because they like sitting on my couch back there. But there was a new cat that I didn't recognize before. So I'm looking at this cat thinking, where's this one from? I've never seen them. And then all of a sudden from underneath my deck, a kitten comes out. And I'm like, oh my God. And then another kitten comes out. And then another kitten comes out. I think there's only 3, but there is a mom and her 3 kittens living under my deck. And, that doesn't happen very often because most cats have homes, right? And that was a confirmation there. But so cute. So I took some milk out to them. But then last night, I don't know if it was last night or yesterday, when I was in the kitchen, the cat was up on my windowsill checking out the bird's nest with all the little birdies in there. And we came face to face and I told him, no, no, no. So she did get down, but I don't know if she's going to be an issue for the little birds. But this is just, it's nature happening. What are you going to do? But I just had to tell you because the kittens are so cute. So that was a nice little present for me yesterday to really understand nature, and with the little bird and all the birdies in the bird's nest and then all the kitties coming out. And they weren't like new kittens. They were a little bit grown. Anyway, Mother Nature at its best. So the energies yesterday, I was a little bit off energetically. Today definitely feels a little better. Take a deep breath. I definitely feel I needed to release a little bit, just a little bit stressed about decisions that are needing to be made, and just again learning to rein ourselves back in and allow ourselves to just be in the moment, and knowing that the next day we always reset at night when we sleep, so we always have that fresh perspective again, and sometimes we just need a minute to cry or just release that stress, right? So it's all good. Allow yourself to go through all of those different feelings. So we have 2 Divine Masculine Twin Flame reads. Make sure you check out both of them. They both have important messages, so I don't really want to say one over the other. But Yes, I'm going to get right into this first one. This first one was done yesterday. SIRIAN STARSEED deck, for those of you not familiar with me, this is a 7-deck read, so it's a lot of energy, a lot of information. Some of the messages are going to resonate with you, and some of them may be very specific for a certain person or a certain few people. So just take what resonates and leave the rest. And it is for the divine masculine twin flames, which means that it affects the masculine within the feminine as well. So it really can apply to everybody. This first read was not the one in front of you. That's the second read. The first read was done at 10:10 yesterday, and 10 is the Wheel of Fortune times 2, and 10:10 is also that very high vibration of the trill, the 101010, and it is the SIRIAN Starseed deck, the main deck for the read. We also have the Rider-Waite Mini as clarifiers, as well as the Tarot Sexual Magic, the Numerology deck, and Romance Angels, as well as the Gilded Tarot and the Universal Golden Tarot. And if you would like any services from me, all my information is below, as well as my website, which is twinflames3344.com. And my email, if you have any questions, is the same at gmail.com. Make sure to like and subscribe if you do like the content, and share is so helpful to me if you don't mind sharing with whoever you can. These messages are to teach you how to interpret your own messages. That's why I don't always give you every straight out detail. Sometimes it's hard to understand because you're not supposed to understand the whole thing. You're supposed to allow your own intuition to interpret it in your own way. So please, if you can, share with others and like as if you like the content. And of course, always comment below. It's so helpful to share back and forth more information as you comment. And yeah, and if you want to reach out, I am doing readings right now. It may get limited in the next few months. I had a really great session with my client this week. When I do Reiki, I do it in a meditative state, so I actually do that as a recording and then send it to you, but I don't do a whole lot of that because it is a lot of energy that I put out when I do that. But if you'd like a card read or a coaching session, I will be available for that. If it gets a time where it's too much, because I'll be moving in a few months, I will let you guys know that as well. So, getting right into this read. The read was finished at 10:35 to 36. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, and then 35 and 36, which is the 9 and 10 of Wands, the Wounded Warrior. And I always call the 10 of Wands the Atlas energy because it's like the weight of the world upon your shoulders. So it's also ending that cycle of the physical and energetic burdens. Oh, I don't want to forget my CD. I always forget to plug myself. That's one of the things I need to learn, to stand up for myself more. But my CD is out there, Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames. It's under Evelyn Stainthorpe too. It's on Amazon, CD Baby, Google Play, and iTunes. So it's only $1 to support me. That's a great way to support me. And I really appreciate those of you who have in the past. Thank you so much. So check it out. It's all my music. It's piano and voice. And they're mostly love songs, and it's great music. It contains my third energy, because as you know, when you do anything creative, you are channeling your third energy. It'll help you purge for sure. So it's a great way to do some of your work as well. So as we get into this read, we have the major arcana of abundance and higher self, the first read. Abundance is like the Empress in this deck. And then higher self is the High Priestess. Before the read, because I always pull a few cards on either end of the read, depending on what I'm guided to do that day, and they are integrated into the read. Before the read, we had Transition, which is like the Death card, and after the read, we had Indigo, which is like the Magician, but it's like a young magician, right? It's like a child energy in that card. So we have 1 Pentacle, 3 Wands, 3 Cups, and 2 Swords. So mostly Wands and Cups, which is interesting for the masculine. They don't usually come up together as the higher numbers, the Cups and the Wands. Yes, they're usually mostly Pentacles and Wands because they're always busy and active and working. But when 3 Cups come up, It's usually with swords because they get stressed out about going into their feelings. So it's really nice to see that we have 3 cups with 3 wands, which means they're grounding and integrating their emotions into their daily life, which is beautiful. The court cards, we have Page of Wands, Knight of Cups, and Queen of Wands. And that's interesting too, because we have the Page of Wands and Queen of Wands next to each other in this read as well. So right here, I'm going to show you where I'm talking about the Page of Wands and the Queen of Wands are side by side right there. But this is the first read, so they're the major arcana in the first read. And then before the read, we had King of Swords and Page of Pentacles. And after the read was the King of Pentacles. So what do we have? So we have the Queen and Page of Wands, the King and Page of Pentacles. So that's like a mother and child, and then a different father and child, like 2 separate families. And then the King of Swords. And we also have the 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Swords that came up in that read. And that's like the sovereign person and the one suffering in silence. So they often come up as characters too, even though they're not court cards. The numbers, very important in this read. We had 4 3s. I'm telling you, rarely do I get 4 of the same digit in a read. So we had all 4 3s in this read today. 3 times 4 is the 12. That's that wisdom cycle. And then the number on the code line was number 3 as well. We also had double 9s, which is all about compassion. Compassion. And the other numbers, in a lesser sense, we had 13, which is the Death card, or transition, transformation. We had 39, which is the Knight of Cups, as well as 36, which is the 10 of Wands, that Atlas energy. And then 12, which is the Wisdom, the Hangman, and 23, the King of Wands. We also have 1, 2, 3, jump. And 6, the Lovers. Okay, so the code line was all about domestic harmony and adventure, but the A was covered, so it was coming out as de-venture. So either instead of venturing, de-venturing, taking the venture away, or it could be divine venture or adventure, which for me is the AD, is the after death of the Jesus and Mary Magdalene template of them being together on the cross. Okay, so the venture of the after death. So literally, our journey here is about the after death process of Mary and Jesus on the cross. How do you get from being human and descend to the 5D? Okay, so that's a great way to look at this journey. So that's why after death comes up a lot in my reads, because it has to do with Jesus on the cross and how he ascends with Mary Magdalene. And in this specific read, Spirit's connecting with me. So in this header here, it's very much about the 3 of Cups regarding domestic harmony and adventure. 3 of Cups is the coming together, it's joy, it's being social, happiness, and also, of course, it involves third-party situations, which all twin flame relationships involve third-party situations, because the twins are always connected when they're in another relationship. So every twin flame relationship is a 3-way situation when you come into union. Okay, so, and don't forget that there's an angle there with the third flame as well. So regarding domestic harmony and adventure and the 3 of Cups of coming together in joy, we have Mother Mary coming up in this message. Mother Mary seeing telepathically, or seeing the TV. So television a lot comes up for me as the telepathic vision, and taking the high road of the Knight and the key. So it's like Mother Mary seeing, and it even could be like twin flame TV too. That comes up, a lot of YouTube stuff. But Mother Mary seeing telepathically, or the stuff in the twin flame community on YouTube, and taking the high road, the Knight key, and seeking the 3 of Cups, or the joy, the coming together, as a show of power regarding domestic harmony and adventure. So in order to find your happiness in your home, or just an example, as I'm moving in the journey of moving to a new home, seeking your show of power is finding your happiness in the journey, in doing whatever you're doing. So Mother Mary is seeing telepathically. So this can reference Mother Mary, and also, by the way, my mother's name is Mary, so that can come up here as someone's mother in the situations, because my mother's still alive. She's got Alzheimer's, but literally they have a purpose. They're like grid markers for us during our journey. So it can reference a parent, especially a parent who's incapacitated, who may actually be channeling things for you or holding your place in the grid for your union to come into the physical. So that is coming up. So Mother Mary in the etheric realms, and then Mother Mary as a parent, seeing telepathically and taking the high road. So keeping your high vibrational place in the grid. And that just coming up as a good key in order to help you see coming together in joy, the joy of the Three of Cups, and the showing of the power of the journey. And again, that same joy of the journey coming up in what I just referenced about Jesus and Mary Magdalene being on the cross, and the after-death test of getting from human to ascended master. So also MCTV was coming up, which always cracks me up because my son's initials are MC. And since my last name is Stainthorpe, we always call him MC Stain. So MCTV was coming up. And my son also references he is a divine masculine. So it has to do with the masculine's telepathic vision as well, coming in. And taking the high road in the after-death test. So again, referencing Mary and Jesus on the cross. And going from human to master. And seeking or seeing the energy of joy as that show of power regarding domestic harmony and adventure. So some of the stuff that came up online was a lot about chalices, because that was in the code line. But Chalice TV, the Chalice from YouTube, Challenge Chalice came up, Chalice-05- Praise Him came up, as well as Raise the Chalice on YouTube. So, toasting to them. Raise him up and toast to him. And another header came up, Buddhist Amulets by Luang for Simply from Thailand Amulets. And that was also a YouTube if you want to watch it. And then in The Legend of Sleepy Hollow came up, What for Traces, and then E-Notes came up. And that's funny because E-Notes could reference my music, because I'm E for Evelyn and my music I was just talking about. So another header that came up was How to Spot a Psychopath, the 3 traits you should look for. And it was very interesting because it said 1 in 100 people are psychopaths. And there's a cluster of 3 personality characteristics called the dark triad, which I'm going to define for you. And they were saying that most psychopaths are business leaders, lawyers, and surgeons because they seek positions of power so that they can put themselves above somebody else. But it's 1 in 100 are psychopaths of all people. But it says it doubles and even triples and quadruples in the realms of business leaders, lawyers, and surgeons. So very interesting. So the cluster of 3 personality characteristics are called the dark triad. And they're the Machiavellianism, I can't get it out of my mouth. And we're coming into, on the 18th tomorrow, I think Mercury goes retrograde tomorrow. And then we have eclipse on the 21st. So those energies are definitely coming in already. So you should be able to feel them. And if you're feeling out of whack certain days, just remember it's the eclipses. You're in the midst of the eclipses and you're always going to have weird days, okay? So Machiavellianism is about power, money, and winning. So they're all about this stuff. So there's 3 different aspects of the psychopath. Power, money, winning. They're duplicitous, cunning, and manipulative. And they disregard moral and social rules. They don't have guilt about this stuff. For them, it's like an impulse, like an alcoholic to drinking. They just can't help it. They just have to take the drink. So their tools are deception, guilt, bullying, feigned weakness, flattery, in order to twist others' emotions. They're charming and well-liked in a superficial way, right? So at work, they can be very well-liked in their position because they don't have to get too close to people. They can be very superficial and be very flattering. Other tools are sex, lies, guilt, and fame. Well-crafted diary also came up because they were giving a certain example. So the second one of the dark triad are lack of conscience or empathy. So this is where they engage in what others only fantasize about. So like if someone does something really mean and you fantasize about, knocking that person out for what they did, this person would actually do it. They have no filter in that sense, no remorse, pity, or guilt. They don't hit the brake pedal where somebody else would normally hit the brake. So they act first and think later, quick to violence or aggression, and some of them also have multiple sex partners, etc. And they describe them literally as very reptilian, which is really funny. The third part of the psychopath is the narcissism. All right, so we have the Machiavellianism, the lack of conscience or empathy, and then narcissism. So narcissism is defined here as self-centered with inflated sense of self, a refusal to see their flaws, and then projecting their flaws onto others. They love compliments and are extremely sensitive to insults and respond to insults, or even if they're not insults, they're extra sensitive to it, so they'll take them as insults and respond to criticism with rage and retribution. They're unstable with their self-esteem, and they have trouble sustaining relationships one-on-one because of these things, so they seek positions of authority so that they can make somebody else always at fault. Okay, so this was important to understand and know how many people, right, fall prey to this energy because of what they've experienced in life or what they're supposed to experience in their journey, in their contract. All right, and again, the header for that one was how to spot a psychopath, the 3 traits you should look for. And it's so you can avoid them much better by understanding and not falling prey to someone who's over flattering. It's easier to trust someone who's a little grumpy than it is someone who comes on so strong like that, because obviously it's not real. So at 11:13 I started this read. 11 is the Justice card and 13 is the Death card of transformation and transition. And we have abundance as the underlying energy, which is also the Empress. Beneath that, we had the King of Swords reversed, the Page of Pentacles upright, the Transition reversed, and the Two of Pentacles upright. And just so you know, the King of Swords came up reversed in this read as well. But it was very cool how the second read ends with the King of Swords, so don't worry about that. So the Empress is upright after the King of Swords reversed, is going through some negative self-talk. This also could be lying or being verbally abusive as well, or just being silent, right? The student, or with the Page of Pentacles child who may be clingy, or an opportunity to drag things out on and on in the juggling act, or the day-to-day, doing the daily. Or the King of Swords reversed is verbally abusive or lying to self or others, and the student or opportunity of near death, being dead tired or refusing to change, and resuming the daily grind behind the Empress's abundance. So they may be dependent on that abundance. That could be a mother, a wife, a grandmother, an aunt, a boss. The Mother. So here's the Mother and the mothership and the mother load, which came up a lot in another read. And we have Mother Mary coming up here, so that's significant again. Mother Mary comes to me, let it be. So no options with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, community, or legacy. And the King of Pentacles reversed may be greedy or ungrounded, or just lost money and or status recently, needing them, over loss or regret. So they may be leaning on this Empress energy, over loss or regret of loss of money, power, and or independence, or draining dependence like children or other people who are living with them, or people at work, and then powerlessness in general. Starting over, no longer bored, rejecting the substandard, expecting only the best, and the King of Pentacles with the wounded warrior holding him down. Or a partner or child wants to make a big purchase, seeing the family is wealthy, but the King of Pentacles reversed is struggling now, so they may have to say no. Perhaps siblings taking loans from parents or the trust, or spending more than they're worth. Strong or Leo in uncomfortable feelings, and the Queen of Wands reversed hanging out or hung out to dry, strategizing, plotting. So she is coming up like she's vengeful here. Hung out to dry, strategizing, plotting how to get their sunshine back, or just overexposed or feel like they were burned. or sick or tired hanging out, planning for a vacation in the sun once the kids and the Queen of Wands reversed are feeling better. So they could be sick. So the leprechaun's luck has worn off. Head is below water and drained, sick, tired, or overexposed or burned. And then I was getting the tiptoe through the tulips with me. No more constant gardener or kids riding lessons. The Queen of Wands reversed is not awake and planning her day in the sun. Is she awake? Is she not awake? The Empress in need of sun or just burned. Unstable home, house, or the need to stay out of the sun. Or moving, visiting, ending a marriage, burned by injustice of overexposure, illness, or energy drains by Leo reversed, Libra reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles moving on, offering help elsewhere. Let your friends' help come up for the masculine, and beneath that was, it is safe for you to love. That's the underlying energy. So Scorpio reversed, Taurus upright, Leo upright, and Leo reversed, which can be within one person or two different people, Capricorn reversed, and Libra reversed. So that indicates negative or positive energies, okay? And then Taurus is getting to work. The Page of Pentacles is learning, the Page of Pentacles student, right, or child is learning to how we hurt each other. And this could be a child mimicking their parents. They learn what they see. Holding back feelings, heated debates, delays in communication or travel, and the King of Cups reversed, and Dark Priestess upright with the keys from the past, or after this move, no more nostalgia or kids being difficult. Or the King of Cups reversed is eyeing the realtor with a very low cleavage with a tainted past, or he and negative memories of her perhaps rejected him when they were young. So that's the masculine might be running into someone he knew from high school, maybe the person who actually caused a deep wound. And also, I wanted to bring up about the kids learning from their parents. It's not just about learning to mimic what they see, but they also take on the energies that are in the house, even if the parents are pretending, okay? So you can't disguise it from the kids, because then it becomes a subconscious wound, which is even worse because the kids don't even know to bring it up and clear it. So now the masculine may be facing a specific wound that was very deep for him from when he was a young or a teenager. Or she sits in the garden with ankle bracelets clinking and cat at her feet, low cleavage or boob job, and the book of spells on how to use the keys. No more. No more stockings or hose or gardeners or garters. Do you want the keys or not? Someone's saying. Come and get them. So this could be someone teasing the masculine or taunting them, trying to get them to have sex with them. So synchronicities comes up, and then beneath that was new beginnings, which is number 1. Synchronicities is 87, so that's the reflection of 78, which is the dream family. It's the end of the deck. So the reflection of that would be something less than that, more difficult, because the 10 of Pentacles, in a manifestation way, they have it good, right? Because they have a lot of abundance. So the 87 of the synchronicities is basically being guided to the abundance, but perhaps not having it in the hand, okay? So the Queen of Cups reversed may come up here sad, even though the worst is over and it's time for bliss. Perhaps uncomfortable feelings of a split, feeling divided, lies, or cutting through the BS and rising above. And this was at 11:57, which is justice and the 3 of swords, which is heartbreak and separation, to come together and socialize, or perhaps a small party. And then 11:51 comes up, which is justice and the King of Swords. So, and also it's coming up that maybe the masculine can't sleep because other people in the house are partying all night, whether that's a partner bringing their friends over if they're in a split, or their kids, and someone else who's not, reining them in. So not sharing, inequity, debt or drain, having been burnt or overexposed, drained, tired, sick or sick and tired, and moving on, the Knight of Pentacles, who's upright. Saturn in Aquarius may be causing normally calm people to flip at the eclipse, and the Knight of Pentacles is leaving a lot of crap behind them, negative energies. And the Knight of Pentacles, Empress, both burned, overexposed or drained, sick and tired, but the Knight of Pentacles is moving on from injustice. This is clear. Or away from a Leo reversed and a Libra reversed, an unstable home or marriage, offering to help out difficult kids or kids who are struggling, or one from the past who needs help, perhaps with a move, and offering their services. So synchronicities comes up here, no longer the Ten of Pentacles, but the Knight of Pentacles, keeping it simple, right? So just because Ten of Pentacles doesn't mean happiness. And the Knight of Pentacles is finding happiness and more freedom, not having so much responsibility of the Ten of Pentacles, because that's a lot of responsibility. So with the Queen of Cups in the bliss state. So the Knight of Pentacles is moving forward, keeping it simple, with the Queen of Cups in the bliss state now that the worst is over. In the recent past is the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Powerless or a dependent or child, dependent or no longer single, the Page of Wands inspired by their knowing and keeping to themselves for peace of mind and pure energy, in a split, or they're just feeling divided, lies or need for more information or clarity, juggling, performing, and balancing act, showing their high vibration or projection, and meditating to transmute the lower vibrations, the subconscious wounds, and sharing what they learn, or settling out under the radar, or feeling a failure secretly. Getting over a loss, regret, past with the Ten of Cups upright, emotional fulfillment, sharing with a meditation group, and or performing for students, or an opportunity, perhaps an invitation to offer big love, the Holy Grail, those inspired by love, or the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups coming together in love to start from scratch and relearn who they are authentically. The foundation is the Ace of Cups, love upright, the strong Empress and the King of Cups reversed, suffering in silence with the Queen of Wands reversed, talking over the King of Cups reversed, or spreading the word, or strong mother to two grown kids, helping her spread the word while without jobs or going through a purging cycle. So this could be, depending, everyone's in different situations right now. There could be kids at home not working right now that may be helping out or going through the awakening process. So stressed or not, or perhaps not sleeping well. Or grandmother and grandchild are good, but the middlemen, which is the movie I'd watched the night before, the middlemen, or the King of Cups reversed and Queen of Wands reversed, or the parents between the grandchildren and the grandparents, are struggling at the moment, where the grandkids or the grandparents are good. Leo upright, Taurus upright, or strong mother figure, with Scorpio reversed, King of Cups reversed, so that King of Cups can be a Scorpio, and then Taurus, Leo, Aries, Queen of Wands reversed. The central energy here is the Page of Wands upright, a masked boy idolized and inspired, happy or satisfied but in uncomfortable energies, with the Ten of Cups family with foolish behavior, or he finding emotional fulfillment, falling for the enemy, or the one standing adamantly in their truth. The King of Swords reversed, not in his truth, as he is reversed, and challenged by the Three of Cups, but challenged by the Three of Cups joy that they bring him. So the one person that he's not supposed to fall in love with, that's, he's saying that's who I fell in love with. So sharing or settling out with the King of Pentacles reversed, or he making a big purchase. Looking back at a bold move, the Chariot or Cancer, with an opportunity, invite, or child who's a good student, taking, stealing, or running away from those who are suffering or seen as making a buck from those with less than. So these could be perspectives of how people are seen. So people could be seeing others as taking money from those who are suffering. At 12-17, 12 is the Hangman and 17 is the Star. So that ties into the traditional view of, not charging for church type guidance services and things like that, or spiritual services. So at 12-18, which is the Hangman and the 18 of the Moon, dumping a load, burdens, responsibilities, or confessing to be released from anxieties, fear, or prison. The world is complete, the cycle ended, sealed divine feminine marching to the beat of her own drum. No more conflict, spying on lovers, a losing battle with the King of Wands affections, and the Queen of Cups without affection, and stuck to the glass ceiling, withholding time, money, and energy, and new life, Destined in the aftermath of sudden events, the wounded warrior with a new passion received from powerlessness of a negative past or a bad childhood. So they're seeing the transmutation and the alchemy of changing something bad into something good, or making a big purchase for new growth toward the wounded warrior avoiding their destiny. And so now for the masculine is the Three of Wands reversed. And that's interesting too, because I was thinking that Three of Wands is upright in the second read, but it's at the end. It's not quite in the same position, but it's on the same line. So the Three of Wands reversed in the now crowning moment, past the Knight of Cups reversed, jealousy, insincerity, and rejected at work, or third party through work, or the Knight of Cups reversed with issues getting along at work or as financial issues, with the Knight of Wands passionately rushing in with judgment, an announcement or a wake-up call to the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, who are both upright, and the Emperor, who's reversed with third party or attached to a negative group or bad influences or gossipers. Three Knights, the Knight of Pentacles moving forward, solid and practical, the Knight of Wands turning errands or running errands or working out, physical and expressing desires and inspired by the Queen of Cups announcement, or a cattle call for Prince Charming. The Knight of Cups reversed with issues at work, and the Emperor's reversed with social group issues. So one is the Three of Pentacles reversed, and the Emperor's with the Three of Cups reversed, or both with third parties socially and at work, or like father, like son, he never thought he'd become. Looking back, going back, or living in the past, a losing battle. The Page of Wands upright and the King of Wands upright, deception or eclipsed, with the Page of Cups message of love or loving child, receiving an offer of sex or creative project from overworked Page of Wands, shockingly healing from separation or heart surgery in rehab or detox. Dumping all business relationships, or this is an all business relationship. So dumping an all business relationship, falling short of expectations, and implementing a plan to allow the fall. After hiding money or withholding, destined in the aftermath of sudden event to fall for a dream girl, the wounded warrior, 5D world, new passion with growth potential, both powerless to each other. At 1244 is the Hangman and the 44 of the Four of Cups, which is being bored, apathetic, or grounding and integrating that offer of love and receiving of it. Soon for the masculine is the Nine of Swords reversed, suffering silence chronically and dumping emotional attachments. The patient angel taking one step at a time, and the Page of Pentacles scooping it all up or grabbing it and running it. It's like take it and run. So someone might be getting rid of a lot of stuff, and it's like a steal, a touchdown. One man's trash is another man's treasure, or another child's treasure. So a child could be getting a lot of stuff from their parents, wanting to get rid of stuff. Insecure without tools and stuck without peace. The High Priestess, secret or intuitive in 5D meditation or sleep, and the King of Cups reversed, stuck in their thoughts, with the Page of Swords spreading the word, or insecure about messages, or feeling they're manipulative, or kids visiting for break and stepping up to the plate and being patient angels, off the beaten path. Sagittarius upright, Gemini reversed, Virgo reversed, Pisces upright, and perhaps Libra upright as well here. At 1250, which is the Hangman and the Ten of Cups, emotional fulfillment, he sees himself as the Three of Swords reversed, which is healing the heart pain, whether it has to do with heartbreak and separation or literally a medical procedure, the King of Wands holding back feelings or heated exchanges, thinking of connecting, seeing eye to eye and hanging out with the Queen of Swords reversed, while the Queen of Pentacles reversed places judgment on him or makes an announcement that's out, or a wake-up call, or connecting with Capricorn Queen of Swords reversed, who's hurt, and the Aquarius Queen of Pentacles reversed, who's not affecting him, and letting their negativity slide on by. Give your relationship a chance, getting to know each other. You deserve love, and this could be the one. All came up for the masculine here. Around the divine masculine is or how he's seen, is the Knight of Cups reversed in a losing battle with the Hermit reversed, over-isolating, going crazy, or seen as a crazy person, now coming out, or a parent with dementia or Alzheimer's. lovers recovering from a negative past or childhood or period of difficult kids. The blocks for the masculine here is the Queen of Wands reversed, destined to be clingy in a divorce, or destined in the aftermath of sudden events to divorce, to break, to be alternative, and the divine masculine, no fear. With the High Priestess or Pisces, Libra, Scorpio reversed, and Taurus reversed, or fear of how others will deal with the Queen of Wands reversed. So that's his block. He might be afraid to do anything because maybe afraid of the Queen of Wands reversed wrath, who could have those other signs in her chart. All right, so adventure, domestic harmony, and even more so here is healing and teaching and learning. So a deep lover's connection and a past of jealous rages or sexually abused as a child, the higher self complete in the 5D world, a Pisces new passion, inspiration, and third energy at full power, losing their independence and dealing with negative kids or past traumas, and the higher self losing hope, needing to heal, defenselessness, no longer caring what others say and do. That's their wound then. The Knight of Swords reversed and the King of Swords reversed, both here, with verbal abuse issues and or negative self-talk or silent treatment, letting go to repair, fix, or mend, or taking forever for the transition to play out, or transitioning playing ball or playing hardball, withholding until done. The Indigo reversed is insecure about proposal with a negative past or the past returning, with issues at the workplace or third party, and the King of Pentacles reversed offering love or receives a big love offer. So abundance comes up with the Empress here, offering big love to the healing Knight of Cups reversed, dependent or other person or child, and the Page of Wands inspired. The children can be the Knight of Cups reversed and the Nine of Pentacles reversed, can both represent children here, but they're both reversed. The Page of Wands is inspired and challenged by the Three of Cups, joy or group. Suffering in silence is the Queen of Wands reversed, living in the past or looking back at their higher self, secret or Pisces, an insecure child or children or a negative past and issues at the work or school. And the King of Pentacles reversed, losing money and status or just ungrounded, receiving or offering big love. The King of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles upright, taking forever to transition, juggling the Empress or abundance, which can also be the bun dance or the butt dance, dependent on the Knight of Pentacles or the Nine of Pentacles reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles kids may be dependent on her. The Ace of Cups, new love, with the Page of Wands inspired, looking back and challenged by the group, their social life or joy, and healing suffering in silence, stress, purging with their higher self. The Knight of Cups reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed, and higher self, secret or Pisces person. Perhaps two families with kids merging here at 114, which is the Magician and the Temperance card. Perhaps insecure about past work issues, and the King of Pentacles reversed with a big love here, or new love. The Divine Masculine suffering in silence, the Queen of Wands reversed, jealous, and the Empress helping with dependence, the Nine of Pentacles reversed, and the Page of Pentacles upright. A mother worshiping her son, perhaps, and then I was getting sun worshippers, or sun worshipping, which is coming up, usually about being out in the sun, but here it was coming up as, the mothers who worship their sons, which isn't good for them, but also it's about the father and the son, worshiping the son. So looking back at the past and at the higher self to merge going forward. The Queen of Wands reversed couldn't win with the Divine Masculine worshipped by his mother. So on her behalf, there may be a situation where she never could have won in the marriage because he was so worshipped by the mother, she could never live up to that, right? And it can go the other way too, with the woman always looking up to her father, and then the husband never able to live up to that. Or the Empress, so worshipped by the mother, and or the Empress Divine Feminine. Or the Queen of Wands reversed, very attached to a Page of Wands child, which they're coming up together in this read, And Mother to Nine of Pentacles reversed, spender. So it could be a big connection in different parent-child relationships. So the Queen of Wands reversed, very attached to the Page of Wands, upright child. And then also grandmother or mother could be the Nine of Pentacles, like the child who loves to go out shopping and spend. So that could, one of them can identify very closely with that child. All right, so that's the first read. And now we have the read from today. And I'm going to pull a card from the energy deck before we go on. Let's clear a little bit again. Take a deep breath, guys. So today is June 17th, 2020. So for the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Let's clear all negative energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all those concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. All right, so what is the advice after this first read, going into the second read? Everybody watching today, what is the advice? Rest and rejuvenation. All right, so this is like the halftime break. Door to romance is rest and rejuvenation. Certainly is the door to romance because it takes all the stress away. So we have 19 of the sun worshiper, and then the 33 of the Christ vibration, which we brought them both up, the sun worshiper, and then Jesus as the sun being worshipped. So rest and rejuvenation, the door to romance, is your connection with higher self or Jesus, okay? And then we have this card coming up as well, which is the journey. So there's the rainbow bridge with all your choice of different paths to take. Her bags are packed and she's ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye. So man holding a heart, and he looks sad in this card. We have the 45, which is the 5 of Cups, which has to do with grieving, any kind of loss, regret, guilt, or shame. And let's see what's below him or behind him is the Angel of Strength supporting him, okay? And this is like a combination of the Strength card and then the 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment. Okay, this is someone who's being his rock. Okay, but then this is what came out. So this is the underlying energy with this behind and somebody else walking away. This is the underlying energy. Someone walks away, but someone's the pillar of strength. And then this is for the masculine here. All right, so we get into the second read here, which is the one in front of you. All right, this is today, which is June 17, 2020. The 17 is the star, and the day adds up to 27-9, which is the Ace of Wands. So it's a 1 and a 9, because the 27 is a 9. So the endings and the new beginnings, going right into the new beginning with the star energy, which is an 8, which is of power, inner strength and outer strength, but also the manifestation of your dreams. With the 27, which is the Ace of Wands, with that new inspiration. So remember when we talk about passion, passion is inspiration plus ego, which there's nothing wrong with having a little ego because we're human, but we want to make it as pure inspiration as possible because the passion is what distorts our issues or creates our issues. So this second read was cut and dealt, the SIRIAN Starseed deck at 7:33 this morning. 7 is the Chariot, and then 33 is the Christ vibration. So this is the ascension of the Christedness, okay, the Hieros Gamos. And then at 7:42, I was getting 10-10 because there were two cards next to each other, 10-10. So that's that very high vibration and keeping it high. And the 42 is the 2 of Cups. And then at 7:43, which is the 3 of Cups, I was getting the ES forgiveness. And ES just represents the... It can represent the divine feminine forgiveness, but also can represent the karmic feminine in the masculine's life and the forgiveness of her or their forgiveness of him. So we finished the read here at 7:57 to 58. 7 is the Chariot, 57 is 3 of Swords, 58 is the 4 of Swords. So the separation, the heartbreak, the three-way situation, which they all are, and then the 58 of the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords being resting, sleeping, praying, meditating in the 5D, connecting with your twin. So the major arcana in this read, we had Chariot and Starseed. Starseed's like the Fool. Before the read, we had Transition and Shadow, which are like the Death card and the Devil. And all we had was 5 wands and 4 cups. There were no swords and no pentacles. So again, we have cups and wands, which was the same with the first read, which I didn't notice before. So it's very rare that we don't have 2 elements, okay? We only have wands and cups here, or suits. So again, yesterday and today, a lot of cups and wands together, which is the masculine integrating his emotions into his daily life, which is beautiful to see. So we got number 54, which is the Page of Swords. The message is getting out. And then the court cards here were the King of Wands, the Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. We also had the 9 of Wands, which is the Wounded Warrior. And after the read, the King of Swords came up. We had the code lines all about forgiveness and effort. And we had triple sixes here. So yesterday we had 4 3s. Today we have triple sixes. And, you know, that can bring out the dark side of things, right? The triple sixes. And let's see, the other numbers that came up, the code line added up to 14 from 6, 2, and 6. 14 is the Temperance card of patience and balance and the angels. And it's all about forgiveness and effort. So again, forgiveness was really big here. So then, of course, the Ho'oponopono comes up. So you might want to give it a try. And the code line here about forgiveness and effort was regarding the twin flames and the Sophia, which is the feminine energy, and also the karmic energy, feminine, being uncentered and needing to be reined in. So someone who's off balanced, doesn't know how to rebalance themselves. And that can, represent anyone who has any kind of struggles like, ADD or ADHD or bipolar or autism, all of the spectrums, any of that kind of stuff could come up here. So, and it's also coming up as the Lovers being students, the 2 Knight of Cups, so the 2 being loved together, side by side, as the good knights on the journey, but not necessarily the journey man, because we're talking about a man and a woman, so on the journey, in forgiveness and making an effort. So the twin flames are also coming up as the TE of the moral man, and also the madman, right? So the light and the shadow. And the Sophia, so 3 parts. The moral man, the madman, and the Sophia of the feminine. And the 6 of the Lovers. But also could be representing 6 students or 6 seekers. And then the students of the 2 Knight of Cups as the twins come together to be loved together. Or the students of being love. And the Knight, the after-death test journey. Like I said, when Jesus and Mary Magdalene are both on the cross, the after-death test is our journey, how to go from man to master. The ascension path, and that's confirmation. So toggle up when there are temperature extremes. Use that Sophia feminine energy of the chakra system, the Lovers energy of the 6, love, family, and community, the students and seekers, and when you need to seek urgently, that higher vibration. The 2 twins as Knight of Cups, being love, and the learning and seeking to urgently be love when you come into a challenging situation. Rein yourself back in. When you're feeling off balanced in the Phi, the PHI, which for me is a need to center again. This is the test, the after-death test of the journey, to bring yourself back over and over and over again. So we actually was talking about this with my son a little bit earlier. So, and especially with attention and admiration, you can get outside yourself. Where it's easy at home to do your spiritual practice, as soon as you go outside, you can lose your inner self and then become outside yourself again, and then you can trip up and make mistakes or just go into your ego. So it's just about being spiritual in every moment and reining yourself in time and time and time again. So even if you trip up and you go off balance or you get too much into your ego, you realize that right away and then just rein yourself back in, and it's all good. So then when, after that, fraternities were coming up, because first Epsilon Phi came up and nothing came up under Epsilon Phi. So then another E came up, so I looked up Epsilon Phi Epsilon, and still nothing came up. So then I was guided to make the first Epsilon Sigma, since Sigma Phi Epsilon I know was a popular fraternity. And so in Wikipedia.org, Sigma Phi Epsilon came up. It was established November 1st, 1901 in Richmond College, which is now University of Richmond, which is interesting because I have my mother's father, there's a lot of family that comes from the Richmond area. And their 3 cardinal principles are virtue, diligence, and brotherly love, which was kind of funny since I'm from the city of brotherly love. And they often would code that as VDBL. Their colors were red, purple, and gold. And so from the time they were founded, it's been 118 years, which is that special number, right? In Judaism, using the 18. And then founded by 12 very moral men. So here we have the 12, like the 12 apostles, where 7 of 12 of them were studying to be ordained ministers. And the gold color was for their hearts, their heart of gold. So, these were, very TE men, very moral men. So the student Carter Ashton Jenkins, who was the son of a Baptist minister, had transferred from Rutgers in New Jersey, from Chi Phi, to Richmond. They called themselves a Saturday Night Club at Richmond, and Chi Phi refused them because they said they were just trying to refuse them, and then they just said they were too small for their fraternity. So they refused them as a national attachment. And so they started a new fraternity, and after several secret meetings in October of 1901, on November 1st, 1901, was the first roster. It started as Sigma Phi, which is funny because I started this search as Epsilon Phi and then went to Epsilon Phi Epsilon, and this fraternity started out as Sigma Phi and then changed to Sigma Phi Epsilon because Sigma Phi was already taken nationally. And they all have red doors. They were also the first to accept transgender men in North America, which was funny because they were claiming to be the first to accept transgender men, but I want to now read you the other issues that have happened over the recent years at their fraternity. And this is not just their fraternity, it happens all the time at many fraternities. But they call themselves the fraternity of brotherly love, right? So just give me 1 second because I want to turn this around so I can read this. Okay. So just to give you an example of some of the stuff, and this is all from Wikipedia. So some of the controversies that came up, we have in January 2020, the chapter, and again, this is Sigma Phi Epsilon, but it's not just this fraternity, it happens at many fraternities. In January 2020, the chapter at Lamar University was shut down by the fraternity's National Board of Directors after hazing was reported to the university's leadership. In September 19, the chapter at University of Nebraska, Omaha, was shut down by the fraternity's National Board of Directors due to multiple fraternity code violations. In 18, the chapter at Dartmouth College was shut down by the fraternity's National Board of Directors due to multiple fraternal code violations again. In 17, the chapter at Auburn University was shut down after several serious allegations were made public about the behaviors. As a result, the national office initiated a thorough investigation into the chapter, which determined it was guilty of hazing, illicit drug use, and alcohol violations. In October 2016, the chapter at University of Wisconsin-Madison was shut down after repeated alcohol and safety violations. The fraternity was consistently cited for providing alcohol to underage students when hosting parties at their fraternity house. In August 16, member Dan Drill was sentenced to 74 months in prison after pleading guilty to 2 counts of rape. In March 2016, the chapter at Purdue University was placed on suspension until 2020 for brutal hazing, alcohol violations, and non-compliance with university rules. And so this goes on as we go back. And I wanted to bring it up too because I didn't have a good experience with fraternities when I was a freshman in college. And I certainly had seen all of this kind of thing happen. So I wanted to bring that up because there are definitely wounds that need to come up to be cleared. All right, so there we have our fraternity stuff. Some of the other stuff that came up in the headers here were Cathedral of Flames from guildwars.com. Also, this came up 3 times here, so I know it was important. They wanted me to bring it up. I want to bring up too, before I finish with the fraternity, the initial ideas for this fraternity were very good, and their symbolism, they had a gold heart with there was another black like shield heart inside of it, and that's where they had their initials. And now it's nothing like that at all. It's more like the black shield with the gold emblem in the background. And they always had skull and crossbones. That was secret why they used those on there. And it was very interesting because when I looked back, the original pin had 18 circles around it, and they had changed one of the circles to the epsilon when they added epsilon at the end, so it would have 17 circles on it. And then the newer one had 20, which is judgmental, which is very interesting how the numerological definitions changed over time as well. And they started off with a very pure goal in mind for the fraternity, and you see how over time it has turned to something completely different. It's really funny that they started out as being ministers, and now see what that's come to. So the other headers that came up were the SIRIAN Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha, and then Adept came up, which is a band, and Chapter 6 from YouTube, and Eclectic Tarot also came up, and then robotics.omron.com came up, and then the one that came up 3 times was Do You Have the 6 Sixes? So this is like, as opposed to the men always telling you what a girl has to have for them, this was the women's list for what a man has to have, and it was the 6 sixes. So it had to do with the 6-figure salary, the 6 foot tall, the 6 months since their last relationship, the 6 inches below the belt, the 600 horsepower car, and the 6-pack abs. So that was coming up 3 times. So just as much as men can be superficial about women, women can be superficial about men as well. So at 9:05 is the Hermit and the 5 of the Hierophant. We start out with the King of Wands reversed here. Okay, so this card here is the King of Wands, the big one. And beneath that is the 10 of Cups upright, the 4 of Wands reversed, Transition upright, which is the Death card, and Shadow upright, which is the Devil. And there, those are the 3 dark cards in the deck, are the Death, the Shadow, and the Devil. I mean, the Death, the Devil, and the Tower card. So the Tower wasn't there, but these 2 were. And the Tower was reversed, but the Devil and the Death card were both upright. So the King of Wands, tired, sick, angry, out of control, ego, after a happy ending, moving, visiting, or ending a marriage, transitioning through the shadow web, tiring, frustrating, sickening process. Impatience, losing patience, fallen angel, sad, feeling guilt or shame or unable to let go of the past, trash or trash talk, bad temper and what it destroys, overworked, no longer working, lashing out and holding tongue, the King of Swords reversed, and the King of Cups all in one. So you're going to find that theme here today. They kept bringing up the polarization of everything in order for them to merge together. So whenever they bring up one thing, they're going to bring up the opposite of it, so that you see both sides of the situation in order to lessen both sides and rein them in towards the middle. So lashing out and holding tongue, both at once, they're the opposites, the King of Swords reversed and the King of Cups upright, all in one. The verbal abuser due to negative self-talk, guilt and shame, and only a good man because he overworks in order to prove his worth. The devilish horse's head under the radar, or not ahead, Capricorn feeling of failure or bad news coming in, or Capricorn feeling of failure and horny devil under the radar. Painful ending or ending pain, betrayal, stardom, and the sacrifice for the dream. Selling their soul to the devil to come out shiny and new, or taken down by the devil, the shadow side of you. And the bird taking off, or dream girl, the Page of Wands upright, inspiring or inspired by, and then I was getting honey bunny or Christ consciousness infinity field or in Trinity field, pitching a tent, feeling shiny and new. God bless you, you make me feel brand new. So the insecure magician feeling a bit manipulative without their tools, or lost his tools, implementing a new plan to be free to leap, or getting the magician reversed to free themselves to leap to you. So that's the masculines may be practicing their manifestation abilities to try to get the feminine to come to them as opposed to them go to her. Or the King of Wands reversed, Scorpio upright or reversed, Capricorn upright, Aquarius upright, Sagittarius reversed, Gemini reversed, Virgo reversed, and Aries upright, Cancer reversed. So a fool with a loyal friend, along with their bag and a flower in hand, no feather in their cap, only a leaf and a sweat rag, heads and tails above the rest, as the redcoats fall, and the meek inherit the earth. No more perpetual rose gardening or manipulation or rose energy. Instead, picking just one rose to bring to someone special. No daydreams or expectations or tools on the table, just an open heart and self to bring to the table. No strategy or manipulation tactics. In the aftermath of sudden events, epiphanies, explosions, eruptions, and all hell breaking loose, present to the moment due to state of emergency, breakdown, or the warpath to clear the manipulative, insecure wounds and energies that are in the way. The fall of those who would run roughshod over others and take their tools. Ground zero is 11:59, and I went to bed at 11:59 last night. That's the moment before the hour, the 11th hour. The dogs on the loose, or someone hit and run, or a car accident, and ambulance, emergency services, or unable to see doctor in person. An issue with overconfidence, too much solar plexus yellow, inflated ego, but unjustified. And then what was coming up is 940, which is the Hermit and the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is coming up reversed in this read, can come up as the crybaby because it's literally like an infant crying. But also can be spoiled and entitled energy, but also can just be feeling very vulnerable and shy. But they're two sides of the same coin. So 9 is the Hermit, 40 is the Page of Cups. And they're like those opposite energies, right? The wise old person who stays to themselves, and then the young baby who's crying for attention, who wants attention. So inflated ego, but unjustified here. So this is definitely coming up as a wound. Someone who thinks they're actually better than they are, which you don't really see that often. And when you do, you're always perplexed, like, why do they think they're so wonderful? And sometimes you want to feel more that way, right? So you boost your confidence up. But it's not good, when you want to hire someone who overestimates their own worth, and then you hire them and they never do what they're supposed to do. So it's that kind of energy that's coming up here. So at 941, which is the Hermit and the Ace of Cups, there's big love at work, dream girl come true, the Queen of Swords reversed, with man in the mirror now coming through. Pinocchio becomes a real live boy, and the Page of Wands is inspired to a date in a practical, moderate way. Gently waking Barbie in a basket from Animal House, not waking up, perfectly posed or poised, Mary Janes and all, fan in hand and other arm overhead, perfectly placed, and heart placed perfectly on the mantle. Perhaps a young girl out partying too much, or the Divine Masculine with a partner with alcohol or depression issues, unable to wake them up, being very superficial, while the Queen of Swords reversed is already coming in wounded even more now from the journey. The Divine Masculine being the typical 3D male, choosing the money and the hard young bodies, or long-term affair with wife doing his laundry. He's seen as the perfect provider, but now Kermit merges with the three-legged race, unable to function without the other, or one who allows you your space. 3 legs or 4 legs, codependent or sovereignty, pincushion, lit candle, and bells all in the trash. No more tiptoeing through the tulips, or sneaking out at night, or chose a young one and now they're out of control, or you, the Divine Masculine, are no longer resonating with them, the hot young bodies that you wanted to have an affair with. Or big love through work, their wish come true, while dealing with scorned partner and 2 kids out of control, drinking, drugs, and or sex issues. Rebirth comes up here as number 16, and below that is nature, 74, the perfect balance. Expressing feelings in energetic exchange, lots of communication or travel, losing patience, temper, or fallen angel, Sagittarius, insecure and manipulative, the evil magician reversed, or the loss of all their tools of the King of Pentacles, prison or anxiety, suffering in silence, and now the worst is over. Condensed retribution, so it's like getting it all over at once. Like thrown in the dark funhouse and then spit back out on the lawn in the middle of the night alone, glued to the glass ceiling, where even Bambi can't reach me. But at last the dark birds, and at least the dark birds, have flown the coop. A disorienting and dizzying experience. Now the Orient Express, Rapunzel in her crib, and the wise owl at her window, keeping their eye on her, while the hostage of the grass is begging for mercy to open the iron gate, right, to relieve the stress that keeps coming in waves, and let them in. So someone's begging to be let in, and someone's begging also for the gate to close already, so the energies will stop from the wave. As the moon approaches newness, but is it, with the solar eclipse and the laser ray solar prison on pins and needles at day? When will the gate close for relief pitcher to come in? Now sliding into home base, right? Just allowing yourself to go down the slide. At 10:07, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot. I'm coming home. 8, 9, 10, begin again and again and again. So meanwhile, as I'm doing this read, the cops not far away from here were practicing gunfire, which was very strong all morning, from like 10 till 12 at least. And it was definitely coming up as being noticeable here. And the energy is very swordy. So we had 8 and 9 and 10 of swords all together in the underlying energy. So we're getting the worst, like all at once, taking it out. And then you see the cards up in front of you, standing up here. I don't know if you can see them very clearly, but we have the 4 of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and then that's the 6 of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the 4 of Swords. But within the read, they're up right here. But actually, the only one that's upright is the 4 of Swords. The 6 of Swords is reversed, which means no peace or no peaceful place to go. The Queen of Swords is reversed, so she's in self-doubt, right? And then we have the 4 of Swords upright, which is the 5D connection, which is very cool at the end, and I'll bring that up when we get there. But I just wanted you to see, because there's 3 swords of the 8, 9, and 10, and the underlying energies over in this pile. That's 8, 9, and 10 on top, and then 3 swords up there as well. So a very swordy read here. No peace for the Queen of Swords reversed, now at rest and praying. So at 10:08, with the gunfire going on, is the Wheel of Fortune and the 8 of being strong. The worst over and time for bliss, but the King of Wands is exhausted, receiving free agent and insecure due to only 4 of Pentacles now. Or star athlete is unconscious after a night out last night and they're wasted. Rebirth comes up number 16, along with the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. 9 of Cups upright, 9 of Wands reversed, which is again the opposites, where the one is the get your wish and happy with self, and then the 9 of Wands warrior, who surrenders, and they're perfect together. Getting wish and surrendering all at the same time in the vacuum. The 4 alarm, gunfire. Sagittarius reversed, Gemini reversed, and Virgo reversed. And recently, the Page of Cups reverse, rejected, vulnerable, shy, or spoiled and entitled, or crybaby, or literally an infant crying, destined to their world upside down and need for closure. To the sealed divine feminine in the 5D world, the Knight of Cups offers love to facilitate indecision, choking on their words, with twins or kids to release from fear, prison, or peace of mind, or prison of the mind, present in the moment in a split or feeling divided, dealing with lies and cutting through the BS, still deliberating, and conflicted about lovers' breakup or lack of affection. And right here, the sun got brighter. And when I went to write the time, because it was 10:20 a.m., I was getting a.m., p.m. So conflicted about lovers. So again, that's the polarities again. Conflicted about lovers' breakup or lack of affection. We have Libra upright, Pisces reversed, Aquarius reversed, and Gemini reversed here. The foundation is the Chariot reversed, the state of emergency, the broken down vehicle. Broke, broken, breakdown, break up or break through, issues with moves or travel, stuck, no forward movement, lots of retrogrades, stuck in their head without peace, with the High Priestess, secret or Pisces or intuitive abilities, and freedom, the freedom to leap out of it if they choose to. Clarity post-war, holding on and being moderate, grounding and saving. Clarity, but stuck without peace all at the same time. PTSD, secret, yet intuitive and clairvoyant all at the same time. Saving and moderate, yet free at the same time. The divine masculine forced to be tired, sick, to be still, to notice the movement, or to notice the moment. The divine masculine forced to be tired and sick to be still. They were forced into these positions to notice the moment, to be present to the moment. The 11th hour, the 11:59 p.m., the bewitching hour, the moment before things return to normal. Staying in that moment for perpetual co-creation at 0 point. The green room, the vortex, the vacuum without vacuuming. Staying on the balance beam without falling takes focus. Spotting one moment in time, and then run and jump and flip, releasing all control to the universe, source. Faith that you will land on 2 feet, sometimes a butt or a head to expand the experience, all tailored just for you. The central energy here is the 2 of Cups reversed, the disconnect, break in partnership, not seeing eye to eye or face to face. Released, inspired Page of Wands and Queen of Wands, both upright, to move, visit, or end a marriage that's draining or ill, tired, in need of a facelift, or sunshine, crazy kids, overexposure, and burnt to a crisp. Or someone might have had a house fire here, suffering in silence and stressed out. The challenge being the Knight of Cups upright, swimming in the green room, coffee cup, infinity pool, broken and unspoken. Overworked, uncomfortable energies with the Queen of Swords reversed offering love that he ignored in a split or said his sword was bigger than her sword. So there's that competitive edge at 10:46, which is the turn for the better with the Wheel of Fortune, and the 46 of the Children in the Garden, the 6 of Cups, the lovingness between each other, which, by the way, the 6 of Cups is upright in the environment position here, or how the masculine is seen. The Queen of Pentacles reversed is stealing from her, the Queen of Swords reversed, or the divine masculine was taking from the Queen of Swords reversed in uncomfortable energies in order to give to the Queen of Pentacles reversed without her permission. The 10 of Pentacles, family, business, community, or legacy. Divorced, breaking contract, or Taurus reversed, or alternative or spiritual, and sharing now or settling out. We have Cancer reversed, Pisces upright, Aries upright, Taurus reversed, Leo reversed, Sagittarius reversed, and Aquarius reversed, all here. So impatience here, or losing patience, grounding and integrating, or bored at the same time, or just bored of the same old stuff. With the Queen of Pentacles reversed, her 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or legacy, and their slave labor for the divine masculine, the atlas of the weight of the world upon their shoulders, and stealing from him while deliberating, healing, and forgiveness. So it's coming up with the same kind of energies that he was doing with the feminine, giving to his partner, now the partner's doing that same thing with her family to him. So there's always a reflection there. While deliberating healing and forgiveness after separation or heartbreak or third-party war within, now is over, but the PTSD sets in and the looting, which we've been having, right? It remains. It takes time for the war to truly be over. For the King of Wands reversed and the Four, the Four of Wands. So the King of Wands reversed and the Four of Wands reversed side by side in the War of the Roses, the release and getting their wish, being happy with themselves and alone. Now is the Nine of Wands reversed, the surrender to the happy ending and defenseless to the energies and attacks or being ganged up on. With the truth out, being strong, or dealing with a Leo strong and left for dead. Now that the worst is over, justice, divorce, Libra, and time for the bliss state. Dumping sleazy, fallen angel, or dumping sleazy sex for the one. Seeing synchronicities everywhere and perhaps a project with options, but unable to implement right now and disconnect, not eye to eye or face to face. And there the guns were still shooting at 11:01, Justice and the Magician. Hold on one second, I gotta plug my phone. I don't know if that's working though. Okay. Unable to implement this new plan until... So again, dumping sleazy fallen angel or sleazy sex for the one. Seeing synchronicities everywhere and a project with options perhaps, but unable to implement in the disconnect. Or not eye to eye or face to face with someone. The Knight of Cups upright, maybe going through a breakup for an offer of love, to be love. Unable to implement this new plan until the disconnect is complete. The Knight of Cups caught with their pants down perhaps, and or in the weeds. 10-10, bridging from temper and boredom to dream family and working hard to please self in disconnect of affection with narcissistic Hierophant reversed or Taurus reversed, expecting everyone to please them only. And that's coming up as that person who thinks more of themselves than they actually are. And then the Emperor comes up here with the Page of Cups reversed, Emperor's upright, controlling and crybaby all at the same time. The Star and Healer, and Death and Dark Night all at the same time, offering time, money, and energy, a new life, or a payoff to weakness, or Leo, or ego out of control, or to the ego death, to kill the beast. Aries upright, Aquarius upright, Scorpio upright, and Leo reversed, Taurus reversed here. On a quest to split and to remove the sword from his heart, surgically if needed. The King of Wands reversed, tired of fighting and moving and split. Soon the Knight of Wands reversed, players falling short or holding back desires, dumped or dumped on. The Queen of Cups purging or overwhelmed by split, divide, lie, or the need to cut through the crap. Or the Knight of Wands doing everything to hurt the Queen of Cups or get her back but unable to affect her. So this Knight of Wands, which can be a guy or a girl, it doesn't have to be a guy. The Knight of Wands could be doing everything to hurt the Queen of Cups upright or to get her back, so there could be some vengeance here. But they're unable to affect her. She's staying in her heart space. There's peace and focus. She's focusing on her heart. Juggling, performing, sovereign with the Empress reversed, which can be an ill mother or disabled mother or grandmother, or an older woman, wife, mother, aunt, boss, or grand, in lack mentality, suffering in silence in the aftermath of sudden events, explosions, eruptions, epiphanies, floating coin, and spreading rumors, spying, negative self-talk, or silent treatment, or child with a big mouth at 11-19, which is Justice and the Sun. Perhaps another older child is independent, and then another child, if there's a third, may be that Knight of Wands reversed, who's gone wild. He sees himself, the masculine, as the starseed, receiving the big bomb drop or download into his crown. And when I did some union reads also, that message was coming through repeatedly, that the masculine's getting a big download to his crown. So the big bomb drop or download into his crown frustrated, blocked, or unable to control or conceive of the third energy, with the Devil or Capricorn waiting. Oh, waving, okay. So, unable to control or conceive of the third energy, with the Devil or Capricorn, one or the other, doesn't have to be both, waving like a bat out of hell, burdened with the weight of the world, while implementing a plan with the Hermit shedding light, or with an advisor, about a breakup, no sex, or lack of affection, left out in the cold. 1 to 2 were exiled, destitute, injured, or went through an illness, and the Devil or Capricorn saying, "Hasta la vista, baby," and giving a kick in the pants. Aries upright, Virgo upright, Capricorn upright, and Gemini reversed. So retreat comes up here and let go of control issues, past life relationship. And then in a separate group, codependence, release your ex, and romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. A fresh new start and a leap of faith. Around the Divine Masculine, or how he is seen, is the Six of Cups upright, the soul tie, the twins, the kids being loving to each other, coming together in joy, but perhaps fell short, healing and forgiving to get over the betrayal, the painful ending, the ending of pain, or back injury or related treatments. After falling off the horse, learning to have fun on the ground, making the best of any situation with love, joy, amends, forgiveness, and peace of mind. The blocks for the masculine here are the Six of Wands reversed. So bad news, no success or failure, and doing things under the radar, which is in a sneaky way, suffering in silence, lack consciousness, stubbornness, laziness, and conflict or fights, competition. This is coming up as the blocks for the masculine. So effort and forgiveness are the cards that are coming up for them. It's blue and gold, so focusing on the throat chakra, speaking your truth, and also the solar plexus, having confidence. Needing sunshine or overexposed. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, stubborn bull, refusing to move or work, or unable to function, or disabled. And present to flame, the one and only, in split lies or cutting through the BS, moving or ending a marriage, being released to get their wish of happiness with themselves. Present to awakening and holding back feelings, heated exchange, delays in communication or travel, and negative debate, or a lot of negative energy coming at you in the spotlight of the awakening. Grieving hermit without the light in the Mary Magdalene cave, and the King of Swords reversed, not in his truth, or not talking or verbally abusive. 2, Leo reversed, King of Wands reversed, the King of Pentacles upright, and then 2 pages, the Page of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles upright, perhaps at the workplace or a place of co-creation. So that can be school, church, any place of coming together, could be an art studio, whatever. Perhaps the King of Swords reversed is excluded from the dark group at a lower level than he, sharing, settling out, teaching and learning, giving and receiving, and holding back their true desires, while Color My World is playing in the background. The moon is upright, the moody blues, the shadowy aspect, the subconscious, illuminated but not seen fully at night, not at full attention. Failure to launch, under the radar, underhanded Cancer in 5D connection. At 1141 is Justice and the Ace of Cups, and the subconscious is the opposite of the projection, or in other words, the consciousness, the personality. And dealing with resting, sleeping, and meditation, which then was the card that came up for us in the interim here for the halftime break. So again, the polarity was the message here, the subconscious and the conscious. So however you project yourself, your personality, the opposite of that is what's in your subconscious, because we have to have all in order to be complete. So there was more gunfire after that, and the King of Wands reversed, with their chariot down, in a fresh start with the Six of Cups, twins, vulnerable in disconnect, and challenged by the Knight of Cups offer of love, and the Knight of Wands reversed, player without attention or success, or receiving negative attention, or the players under the radar are falling short because they're hiding their true desires, in surrender to the present and to the flame, in exile from the dark group, And the King of Swords reversed, the Six of Pentacles upright, and then the Eight of Wands reversed was the King of Swords reversed, lying or being silent, sharing or settling out, holding back their feelings and or desires, or in a heated exchange or negative debate, delays in communication or travel, so they're taking a break, resting, sleeping, meditating, or praying in the 5D connection in the cave. The King of Wands reversed may be vulnerable or sensitive now that the worst is over. At a standstill, broken or without vehicle, in disconnect, breakup, or not seeing eye to eye or face to face, surrendering and challenged by being love and a fresh new start every day, even when they fall off the horse, just to get back up again if it's only what you really want. Holding back desires until you're inspired without ego. To the Six of Cups, love, allowing failure, but bringing it up to be seen in order to let it go and be present to the flame, the third energy, to expand and contract into the Mary Magdalene cave, heat and cool, the King of Swords reversed, cold and not sharing, and then sharing and settling out, holding back their feelings until they sleep on it, under the radar, and transmuting in the reset, in meditation, or overnight in their sleep state. There's no peace for the Queen of Swords reversed as they meet the King of Swords reversed on the other side. So that's, and this, after I finished this, it was 12:21 as I went into the other room. So as I said before, we have the no peace for the Queen of Swords reversed going into meditation. And at the end of the read was exactly the same thing for the King of Swords. The King of Swords is here, this big card here. And then we have the Six of Pentacles, and then the Eight of Wands with the Moon, the Six of Wands reversed, and then ending up on the Four of Swords. So it's the Queen of Swords reversed going into their connection and meditation with the masculine, and then the King of Swords doing the same thing at the end of this read for the feminine. So it was pretty cool the way that ended up. All right, I'm going to pull you another energy card here before I go. It's already 1:37. That's 1 of the Magician, 31 of the Five of Wands expanding, and the 37 of the King of Cups. But coming up from the 36 to the 37, which is the 10 of Wands, dropping the burdens, to be love, to be unconditional love, that King of Cups. So just to wrap things up here for you guys, for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? As a butterfly or a moth, a white moth was just flying by the window. All right, we have 2 cards that just came out together. 34, which is the Eight of Wands, which is the expression of feelings, the arrows of love, energetic exchange back and forth, a lot of back and forth communicating or traveling. The door to personal healing and happiness, and then the healer of the ages, which is the 51, the King of Swords. All right. So the door to personal healing and happiness is the 34, the energetic exchange between the masculine and the feminine as he learns his abilities, okay? He's the healer of the ages, has been coming up a lot lately. And then there's 3 more cards that came up, but I want to show you the underlying energy first, which is cornucopia, which is 11 of justice, of the thanksgiving, give thanks every day, the thinking man. With this 46 is the Six of Cups. All right, so in having that lovingness between them, he's able to figure out his abilities and maybe what he'd like to do with them and give thanks for all that he's received. And then after these 2 that came out for the masculine, we then have these 3 that came out. Action, 17, door to spirit, and caring connection, okay? And there's the polarities running together in order to merge with the action, 17, the stars, that are the 2 Knight of Cups together, running side by side, and then the 32 of the journey and the purification of spirit, the door to spirit, opening a door to the caring connection, the 14 of the angels, and being patient and balanced. All right, so that was a really beautiful message for you guys. Make sure you drink your water, get your rest, and rise and be loved. Bye, guys. I love you.